United States versus Scotton, case number 12649, trial on January 26 of 2014, which the jury found me guilty of 27 counts of a mail fraud and 2 counts of a false statement. The case was sent to the 11th Circuit under the appeal. 2 years later, after too many mistakes by the lawyer, ineffective assist of a counsel, and a bunch of other stuff, the case was affirmed. I submit a request to the Supreme Court, which was never passed the clerk's court and also was denied. On December 11 of 2027, I submit my habeas corpus under Section 2255. Judge Moreno unlawful denied. After submitting 4 different motions, request that the error be correct under Castro versus United States, the judge, without any explanation, without bothering to look my argument, dismiss and deny. No other choice, I send the case once again to appellate court. After 2 years, the appellate court agreed with my argument and reversed Judge Moreno denial, and the case was reopened. As of today, April 1st of 2021, this habeas corpus is still pending in front of the South District of Florida, on the hands now of Judge Kathleen M to be resolved. So I'm dressed this video, which I'm posting on my social network media, my social media network, and also my website, to Judge William. Judge William, you took this case right on the beginning, and a couple of months later, this case was taken from you and placed under the authority of Judge Rosenbell. I have no idea how much you really know about this case, but I'm pretty much sure you and your colleagues have been watching all the evidence and videos that I have been posting on YouTube. My question that I have been asked this court for over 8 years is to show me where is the fraud in this case. What is the mail fraud on this case, Judge William? I spent 8 years, knowing that I like to understand law, knowing that I like litigated law. But for 8 years, I have done absolute nothing in my life besides start law, review millions and millions of cases on Lexus, to understand what was done to me, to understand what is my due process rights and my constitutional rights. So I'm asking this court, as I have a file to you 2 weeks ago, my response and my objections to the magistrate report recommendation. Where is the fraud done on these 27 counts? Launch an indictment against me. There's never have been a time that any lost amount was described for any one of the counts, any one of the 27 counts. There's no money lost. I have asked this over and over again. The lawyers, which Judge Rosenbell falsely stating that I didn't cooperate with them, as you can see my objections and you can see the records, they have not done absolute nothing to help me in this case. In fact, they never even bothered to look at the CD discovery, because otherwise, as I said before, they would notice that the CD was blank. Despite that, they claim on the CJ Vault, as Stuart has claimed, as Jason has claimed, hours and hours reviewing discovery, right? Which none of it exists. Now, spreadsheets was falsely introduced during the trial. which the judge once again falsely put on a statement that the prosecutor has given to me in many occasions. Well, if they have given to the lawyers, the evidence in the record now prove that the lawyer didn't bother look at the CDs. And I prove in trial that those CDs discovered was blank. And when the prosecutor give me a fresh copy of those CDs, Judge William, the only thing inside those CDs was those spreadsheets. So I'm asking you to have the government come up on a hearing with every way bill, with every commercial invoice, with every proof of tax duties paid in Brazil, because all the claim is that I ship to Brazil and all the lost amount. So I need to get all the business records for the days of those accounts was open, when those days of those accounts was closing, because none of those records exist. In fact, transcripts will tell you, I ask a specific question to some employees of those companies. Where is the records? One of them is lying in the beginning. Later on, he tried to correct it, say, I didn't create the spreadsheet. They just brought me here to testify against this, over the spreadsheets. When I was in prison, I checked the spreadsheets, Judge William. Not only I checked the spreadsheets, I checked who made the spreadsheet, which is Agent Roy Van Burn. Not only he made those spreadsheets, he made a modification on the spreadsheets after the witness testified, which is another misconduct. Now, the indictment, which was obtained against me in secret in front of grand jury, stated that those package was delivered in Brazil. The 27 counts was delivered in Brazil and caused loss for the companies. In trial, prosecutor displayed 27 boxes, claiming to be those same box she claimed in front of the grand jury that was delivered in Brazil. However, there's no lost amount on that. So where is the fraud? Now, my understanding of mail fraud is that the person that mails something to anybody with intention to defraud that person from money property obstruct the law and violated the mail fraud statutory law, right? I didn't mail anything to Federal Express or UPS or DHL. I never used the mail to send anything to them to get money proper from those companies. However, the allegation here from the prosecutor is that I ship parts and electronics to my clients in Brazil through my website, and they claim that I defraud the companies because I didn't pay for the shipping service, either by using my own companies, using those accounts without paying, or by using individuals' accounts without permission, or even create accounts without permission, which I point many contradiction of this allegation of packages that were shipped on certain days when the account was not even created, accounts that was created on the years that I didn't have even this business, accounts that the government claimed the package was sent in when the account was closed. So it is too many, not one, two, it's too many mistakes to have someone lose their life in prison for 8 years. Now, on the end of the day, ICE come up with this whole thing, say that I'm aggravated felony based on the restitution. Well, the statutory law in the 43 MI stated clear that they have to show that each separate conviction has exceeded $10,000. There is no one single penny mentioned on my conviction. No one. 27 counts of a mail fraud. No one single penny on the 27 counts was mentioned. Now, they used the restitution that was imposed by Judge William based on this unverified and inaccurate spreadsheets, which I prove over and over again, but those look like nobody cares. Nobody want to bother with looking the accurate, those unverified spreadsheets that doesn't even have the business records. Never had it, never exists, and never have been given to me. Now, they use the restitution. Many cases that I search, Supreme Court's ruling here say that in order for them to use the restitution against me, they need to link, the restitution need to be linked to the counts of conviction, which they are not. In fact, the 27 counts lodged on indictment, it doesn't even show inside any spreadsheets. And any hearing, any evidentiary hearing, I will prove that. But seems to be everybody want to keep in blind eyes in the situation, keeping quiet down everything else, unlawfully shackle me and handcuff me and throw me out of the country to make the prop goes away. Judge William, I'm not going to go away. Until my last breath, I'm going to be here. I'm going to debate this with everybody, anybody, and I'm going to continue fighting for justice, fighting for all rights. Because I come to the point right now, it doesn't matter guilty or innocent in this case. What matters the most over here, it is things that Congress did approve you, Judge Rosenbell, the prosecutor, the agent, or anybody to do it in order to obtain a conviction, which was fraud. Fraud was done in this case here in order to get me convicted. By law, if the jury know all this conduct, this misconduct done, all this allegation which has nothing to do with mail fraud, beyond a reasonable doubt here, they didn't met that. They have not met that. Now, the magistrate judge tried to come back and say that I'm trying to use my 2255 as a venue of a direct appeal. She's mistaken. Or she's mistaken, which I doubt it because she's been sitting in the bench too long. Or she just tried to misrepresent my claims. This is an effective assistance of counsel. In fact, many different motions in front of this court and also in front of the appellate court when I tried to withdraw Richard from the case because he proved clear that he has no intention to defend me and he was pointing to this case to shut me down. That's the only reason he was in this case. Because for a lawyer, the type of lawyer he is, for him to put in a letter that in federal courts there is no verbal audio transcript, he's a liar and he's a fraud. There's a lot of manipulation in those transcripts, and I know it because I have everything in writing that happened on that trial because I represent myself during the trial. I was denied my Sixth Amendment rights to have a lawyer, and by false statement by Judge Rosenbell to say that I didn't cooperate with the lawyers. In fact, there is no one lawyer can justify anything he have done in the case, that he understands the case, that he interviewed the people that asked him to interview, that he collected any evidence that asked him to collect it. Nothing was done. Everybody was trying to put a pressure on me to accept the plea agreement from the government. The typical normal day in court. 6 months. Intimidated, forced the person, the defendant, to plea out. I didn't plea out, Judge William. You know why? Because there's no fraud in this case. What happened here, it is that my ex-wife gets too upset about the fact that I dumped her, and she went and asked her friend that is friend with the FBI Ray Von Braun's wife to come after me. In fact, Attorney Robert Abril mentioned that there is no such a thing as a mail fraud in this case. On the beginning, the agent was trying to do something against your immigration status in this country. He couldn't do anything now, then he come with this Mickey Mouse scenario here of a mail fraud. But it was too late to reverse the whole problem, right? Because it already cost 2 years of my life. Now, cost even more because this is 8 years of my life that someone gonna have to pay for. I'm coming here humble under this video just to ask this court for once, do what's right. I'm not gonna talk about justice here because justice, it is something that comes from above, only from God. Because the way we all been living our lives in this world here is disgusting. We all think about ourselves, our personal gain, right? Because when you see someone here that went through what I went through, when my family went through, nobody seems to care. But I already put in God's hands. And I believe in you, Judge Winnie, because you used to be the head of a public defender at one point. I know you have a name. I know you have a job. But I think it is time to get everything out of the way and do what the law requires you to do. I need to get my evidentiary hearing. This prosecutor needs to come up with that, not with any more Mickey Mouse stuff, but need to come up with the evidences, which I already know and you know and everybody knows they don't have it. This case must be vacated and reversed. To be sitting over there as someone being accused on the media trial, I got one of the court-appointed lawyers, Delston, to get with the bondsman, go to my mother's house and steal from my family $16,000 with the false promise that I'm going to get out with $100,000 bail. Of course, when Attorney Stewart see that something's going to go down, he throw Mr. David Rodriguez under the bus. Mr. David Rodriguez get a prosecutor, of course, nothing more than slap in the hand, 5 years probation, and he's supposed to pay restitution to my family, which he never did it. Now I got a attorney, Chris Figueroa Contreras. Go to my family once again after we raise money through friends, take $65,000 out of the $120,000 she request for to do my direct appeal. When she start play game, I ask, go get the money back because I already spoke to a respected lawyer, John Bogenshoe, and she refused to give the money back. When I file a complaint against this attorney on a Florida bar, she fabricated a letter agreement stating on a letter agreement that I retained I had to do my 2255. Judge really know better than this. I was in direct appeal. No one's gonna retain a lawyer to do 2255 during direct appeal because your court doesn't even have a jurisdiction for that. Until the direct appeal was final, this court has no jurisdiction on 2255. So why I'm going to spend that kind of money on a 2255 and I know, because I've been sitting and I know law by now. So she lied. Moreover, the agreement letter that she fabricated doesn't even have my signature. Does a Florida bar require the lawyer to have a signed contract with a client before even collect the money? Well, she took the money and she ran away. Later on, to try to make the problem go away, she sent another letter agreement, now offering $25,000 back. She thought it was fair to give $20,000 to $25,000 back, despite the fact that she never did anything for me. A year later, I signed the letter, sent back to her. My parents sent her email and called her many times. Still today, she have not given the $25,000 back. I called the state of Florida when I was released, state Florida attorney's office, and I give him all the evidence, emails, and everything that I can have. Of course, it is one they own. So nobody has done anything. Got all these people with the license, people that represent the law, have a license to impose law. They are stealing money from us. And they manage to go ahead and cover it up because they know so much on law, right? It is very easy for them to manipulate the law. But I'm telling this, Your Honor, this is the truth. You know, in front of God, I'm telling you, this is the truth. These people took this money from my family and never done anything. But in the meantime, I'm sitting here with this 29 counts of conviction in my back under so many prosecutorial misconduct. There's no mail fraud in this case. The false statement which they tried to say that my marriage was a shame, that I married my wife to get immigration status in this country, is another lie. Because if you go look now, my divorce papers, which was filed by my wife on June of 2019, she lied on that too. Actually, she lied to you guys, because for the first time she told the truth to the family court. Because right there in the application require her to say when we separate. And she said it was October 2011. During the trial, she said that we never live it together. Never live it together. We never have any relation, sexual relation, which is total lie. When I married this woman, she doesn't even have status in this country. The only reason today she has status in the country is thanks to me. I'm the one that gave her status in this country because she even couldn't afford anything. I help her because we live as a couple. We together as a team. But when the agent went over there, he scared this lady like she scared my employee, and everybody has the skeletons in their closet, so everybody flipped against me. Of course, the agent told him this when he came illegally Saturday 8 o'clock in the night time in Broward County Jail to see me. He told me in my face that he's gonna flip everybody to come testify against me. He didn't flip Elaine. She told the truth. Look at the testimony of Elaine. Now, when my best friend Junior Silva, which I was married to his sister back all the way back in the days, came to testify, the agent didn't allow him to even get inside the courtroom. Junior told him that he'll testify in any hearing, that when he came to the court, the agent ran from inside the court, even avoid him to go through security. Said that I don't need you here. If I need you here, I'll call you. I subpoenaed Junior. I asked to be subpoenaed Junior. After 4 weeks, Judge Roosevelt stopped the trial and called me back in court to deny me 29 witnesses, including Junior Silva. Why? Because Junior Silva also is another one that's supposed to tell the truth. Junior Silva know my relationship with my wife. Junior Silva know my business. And Junior Silva will be able to testify that the agent went to his house to tell the agent, that he told Junior that with Junior's help or without Junior's help, he makes sure I'm gonna go to prison, and after that, he's gonna deport me out of this country. So who the hell is this agent to go around and telling people this? As he tells the same statement to my stepfather Carlos, and he tells the same statement to my ex-sister-in-law. He became obsessed because his wife asked for, because my ex-wife was too mad that I divorced her. And I'm not gonna get on the whole prospect of my divorce. Why? This is my private life and nobody needs to know. But I'm asking you, Your Honor, it is too many if in this case. It is too many things in this case that the law require me to be granted an evidentiary hearing. I have not received a fair trial. I have denied the right to be represented by a lawyer, not because I didn't cooperate with any attorney, because those attorneys refuse to do what the law required them to do it. And the proof is right there in front of you. CJ Vulture, just one CJ Vulture itself, show you right there, the lies. And when the lies gonna stop? Where is the evidence that I didn't cooperate with the lawyers? FTC Miami, cameras everywhere. Guards everywhere. Broward County cameras and guards everywhere. Where's those evidence? Where's the videos? Where's the audio that showed that I have some kind of attitude towards to the lawyers, that I didn't respect any lawyer? See, I understand that in court, you need to come up not with a hearsay statement. You need to come up with the evidence, physical and admitted evidence. And what the previous judge in this case has put in erect over and over again was just absurd false statements, because she cannot come up with one single evidence to prove any of the stuff that she said that I did it. She gave me 2 points of obstruction of justice because I subpoenaed my ex-fiancée Carla Fellini and Renata, my employee. Show me on my subpoenas that which was done by my investigator because I was incarcerated. Show me anything in my subpoena that shows that I was trying to intimidate a government witness. And show me evidence that at the time that subpoena was served to those girls, that I have clear information, note by the prosecutor, that those two girls become the government star witness. They become star witness by intimidation, because it is proved today also that Renata engaged in a fake marriage to be able to get status in the country because she was illegal in this country. On 2014, she divorced the guy. She remarried her husband. Now she giving status to her husband, Marco Moura, that came from Brazil through Mexico illegal. And that was proof. And how sick it is this? For the government know that you have in their hands a criminal, someone actually that broke the law, to take the standard and testify against an innocent person like me. Because that's what Renata did. She testified against an innocent person. And what is obstruction of justice is? What is the 2 point sophisticated means? What did I use is so sophisticated on this case, Your Honor? Huh? Mailing packets to my clients. What is the sophisticated means? I have a registered company under my name. I have a website, one of them, not two like the prosecutor tried to suggest, is one of them, under my name, the phone numbers, the address, everything under my name. So show me anything sophisticated that I did it to cover up such a fraud that the prosecutor claimed I did it. 4 points under my guideline. Now, $2.5 million in change on the unverified and inaccurate spreadsheet. One spreadsheet itself claimed 2,600 invoices. Out of the 2,600 invoices, 1,300 invoices was repeat. I got the proof in my hand, and I even posted on my website for everyone to see it. And that includes you, Judge William, if you care to see that. So, what is the proof of the lost amount? It's not one single proof for that. But that cost me another 18 level. So, mail fraud is guideline 7, first offender, 0 to 7 months. Now I got 18 points on the inaccurate in an unverified spreadsheet. I got 2 points of obstruction of justice based on pure bias from Judge Rosenbell, and 2 points of a sophisticated means also on the Rosenbell's belt. And you tell me that this case had anything to do with justice. When I asked every employee that they brought it to testify, when did you guys make the complaint to the FBI that I was defrauding your company? And their response was, we didn't make any complaint against you, Mrs. Scott. You're mistaken. The FBI that told you defrauding us. So, out of the blue, the FBI decided to come investigating me, shipping packets, a professional race car driver, well involved in the community, helping the Miami Children's Hospital, helping Human Brotherhood Society, helping schools, churches, even having toured in Miami Police Department. I did it. Out of the blue, this man choose, let's go investigate him. What is the complaint? What is the FBI investigation, all his investigation notes that I asked many times? I put a freedom of information. See, everything that the law allows any citizen in this country, I have used every venue, every tool, freedom of information, contact everybody, anybody. I contact even recent Federal Express. You know, Federal Express say, well, I don't think you'll be able to show you any records because too much year went by. After 5 years, we destroy records. So it is the prosecutor's office also destroyed the records? What is the business records? My mother left the country, Judge William. My mother is United citizen, United States citizen, 76 years old. She's ill, she's legally blind. Now she's sitting in Brazil without insurance, without Medicare. Because what was done to them during this process also is ridiculous. You do this kind of behavior that I see this agent FBI doing to my family on a daily basis, and what you guys keep doing is covering up. It is a terrorism. In fact, my arrest is nothing but a kidnapping. I was going to a doctor appointment and I was kidnapping, thrown in prison, or here now, go defend yourself. And you want to tell me that I receive a fair trial, sit in the worst places, no computer, no phone call, no lawyer. This has got nothing to do with justice. It's too many cases out of the YouTube. It is too many injustices that we see on a daily basis. How many more? How many more? You know, maybe you got too much to lose, Judge William. You know, maybe it is the kind of thing that your reputation is on the line. You know, you guys can afford another bad reputation in the system. You know, another scar, another bleeding. But it's my life that you guys took for 8 years. It is my mother that she went through 15 surgery. That's how much ill she become after all this thing happens to me. And I'm not gonna count with my healthy. Do you know that they tried to kill me in prison? Do you know that I was duped with drugs by the medical division and D. James? For 2 years and a half, I was placed under medications, including one for thyroid. I have done here 10 different blood tests for thyroid. Every single one of them come up negative. Of course, one of the reasons over there in D. James of shoving drugs in everything we made, it is only for profit. But you don't understand. You're never gonna understand what a person like me go through when you go into prison until you get out of your bench and you sit in prison for 6 months and see what reality is and tell me that this got something to do with that society. Because even though if I haven't done anything wrong in my life and I deserve to be punished and placed in prison, I'm still a human being. I'm still a human being. On the end of the day, after 33 years living in this country, and after help this community in many occasions, as recording photos will show, you can take that away from me. I was shocked when handcuffed for 3 straight days, which Supreme Court rule completely different. Ping pong from one state to another, and dumped out of this country with only the clothing on my back. I'm not gonna even count that my mother, my United States citizen mother, applied for me. We paid $535 for the application I-130, and still today approved. Was approved on July 31st of 2019. And all the laws, all the extreme hardship and everything else, everything was forgot. In fact, when they came and served me with administration deportation orders, those forms that was served to me in D. James was already a due process violation, because the intent notice was served on the same day that was given to me the final notice. In fact, both intent notice and final notice was issued on the same day. It's not that the intention note that I posted on my website clear shows right there that I have 10 days to appeal the decision. When I took to appellate court under judicial review, the prosecutor didn't care to debate my argument that I made it, that I'm not aggravated felony. What she did is she canceled all my deportation. And it is right there proof. It is right there in record. She canceled my deportation January 17th of 2020. But the same day, they issue another final order to deport me out of the country. I objected again, and I went to another judicial review order. That final order was once again canceled. Now, the third time when they put the final order, final administration order against me, the rush came on the facility that I was held by ICE, handcuff and shock me, and throw me out of the country without the chance to a due process, without the chance to have my day in court to the judge. No explanation has been given. Everything that I request is always denied because the system takes advantage that I'm not a lawyer, that I'm not represented by a lawyer. Now I'm sitting where I am. No LexisNexis, no computer research, right? How can it be fair? How can it be fair? The only thing that I know is the truth. And I have placed the truth over and over again in front of this court. And all this court keeping doing, it is using the same excuses and false statements placed already by Judge Rosenberg. Mrs. Scotton didn't cooperate with the judge. Mrs. Scott tried to use the benefits of the laws on his behalf. Benefits, laws on my behalf? I'm not even a lawyer. I didn't understand at the time law. Judge William, please. It's time. You know? And I know that I'm not wrong what I'm saying here, because everything that I learned in 8 years, the way I studied law in prison, the amount of inmates that I managed to help and reduce the sentence, even bring them back for evidentiary hearing in court, shows that I'm right. I am right. The evidence is in front of this court. Even Attorney Jason once told me at West Palm Beach Detention Center that I should not worry about my trial because there's too many wrong things done in my case. That definitely my case on the appeal is gonna get reversed. But of course, Judge William knows how to play the game too well. And she managed to put a rich clue to do what he do on my appeal. Start with a 7 extension that he requests. Appellate court for no reason, delaying my appeal. Lying about filing a motion for me to be released during direct appeal. And of course the letter that shocked the world of him saying the federal court does have the verbal audio transcripts. You know, if a panel of appeal judges reviewing my motion, my request for judicial review, they will ask this court, hold on a second. In order to qualify Mrs. Scott as aggravated felony and use 43 MI, you need to show that each count of conviction exceeds $10,000 and his counts of conviction doesn't even mention cents. Then what's the fraud is? Who did Mrs. Scott defraud for him to spend 8 years in prison? Who? That's the question. You know, because for everything that I learned about the statutory law which I was charged, the only thing I can say, my whole case is based on a fraud. I didn't mail anything to Federal Express or UPS DHL, and that's one of the requirements I see in many cases of Supreme Court, right? You mail is the same thing as the wire fraud. Use a computer, use a fax machine, use the phone as a wire. You did a wire to someone, right? We intend to defraud this person money improperly. Mail fraud, you mail something even through the post office or even through the private carrier. But whatever I mail to my clients down here in Brazil, and they receive their merchandise. I didn't mail anything to UPS. And even if the suggestion of the prosecutor that I open accounts with Federal Express under my own name and I didn't pay the bill, where this allegation goes down on a mail fraud. So that means if I use my Visa credit card today, I commit a fraud? It is a fraud? I lose my job, I can't afford my Visa credit card, so now I'm gonna be indicted because I didn't pay my bill, I didn't pay my electricity. So that's what it is. And forgive me being honest, Your Honor, in telling you all this. And I know a lot of people inside the court hate my guts because I'm fighting against this injustice, because the system love those kind of defenders. They come, accept whatever they serve to them, whatever the allegation can be, and without a fight, they sign a plea agreement and go lay down in prison for a couple of years to come. One thing I learned from my parents is this: when you're wrong, you're wrong. You gotta bow down your hair and you're gonna accept it. But when you're not wrong, you're gonna fight until the day you die. And that's what I learned from my parents. And I think this is right. And that's why I'm gonna fight until the day I'll die, to prove what was done to me. In fact, the FBI wife's friend, Silene Santos, my ex-wife, she been changed her names on the social media. Her Instagram account, her Facebook account, she been spelling her name all different. Make sure we're not gonna find her. See, a person that is guilty do this kind of thing. They manipulate their own name. They change their own name to try to hide from people. I never changed my name on anything. I never changed my address, and everything has my name on it. In all the cases that I see fraud, in every single case that I myself research and I see and I debate with other inmates, they hide the identity. They create all kind of fake papers, all kind of fake information to hide from their fraud. I did it. In fact, I'm a professional race car driver. My name is all over the internet. I couldn't hide myself if I want to. Therefore, today I'm here, Judge William, on this 42, 43 almost minutes video, to request you to, for once in life, adjust the balance of the justice balance. Don't let anybody put their thumb on the balance, turn themselves. Don't let your black, uniform, your black cape, to put too much pressure on you to make the right decision. Because when I raise the money, and I'm attempt to raise this money, I don't care if I have to raise $2 million to have a team of the best lawyers in this country. But eventually I will, one way or the other. I'm going to prove my innocence. And I hope I don't have to go that far. I hope this court can review the records. Don't take for whatever previous people have said falsely on a record. Go see the true records. Go see every evidence that attached to this motion and to previous motion. I sent this much papers when I first filed this habeas corpus on December 17 of 2017. And I have seen more evidence constantly. It is there. You can see it. The spreadsheets has no one single authentication by Federal Express or UPS. Every paper that has Federal Express name has the logo, has authentication. You can see clear there is a FedEx company. Spreadsheet has no one single authentication. Nobody knows how the spreadsheet come out of the website or the Federal Express computer system without one single authentication saying FedEx or a letter attached came from FedEx. Nothing. But it is proved right there by the CD that the agent created. Because on the CD, go to property, you can see who created the CD, the spreadsheet, and who created and who modified the spreadsheet. His name is there. He used his own computer. I pray to God that you do the right thing. You know? And I pray that God have a mercy in everybody that have done wrong to me and to my family. Until next time.